Hi, this is Rory Blain, the Director of Sedition, the platform that allows you to collect, share, trade, display and enjoy art in digital format from the world's leading contemporary artists. Today I want to tell you a little bit about what it means to be an artist on Sedition and what's available to you. If you haven't already seen part 1 of this video, please go and check that out first. It gives you the opening sections of becoming an artist on the site, and now I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about exactly what it means once you're there. So let me talk you through how Sedition works. Sedition has 2 platforms essentially. There's open platform and the curated platform. The curated platform is the default site. This is where you land by default as a collector when you come to us. It's where you're going to find the names and the figures that you know and love. Names like Tracey Emin, Yoko Ono, Viola, and very established names. The only way artists get to be on the curated platform is if we invite them. It's an invitation-only forum. Now, there are a few different ways that can lead towards becoming a curated artist on Sedition. Artists can and often do reach out to us with their work and present ideas and express an interest in joining our site. We love to receive these. If you want to, please do send them to us. The curatorial team will review the submission, come back to you and let you know what we think. Alternatively, if we see someone in the landscape that we really like, then we'll reach out to them and invite them to the site. If we visit an exhibition or a museum show and there's an artist whose work we love and they're not already on Sedition, then we reach out and try and get them there. To sum up, there's no single formal process. The group of people at Sedition are a bunch of very ad hoc, very approachable and very friendly art lovers. We all go out and look at art and museums and exhibitions everywhere, and we're very happy to look at recommendations, submissions and things that are sent to us from our audience. So if there's anything you really like out there and you want us to see it, please send it in. Alongside the curated platform, there's open platform. Now, open platform, as the name suggests, is right behind curated. It's essentially the largest part of Sedition. It's an open forum. This is a free forum, open to anyone in the world. You, me, my little sister, some of the most established artists in the world. It doesn't matter who you are. So to sum up, whoever you are, no matter how much experience you have, open platform is a great place to start. You can dip a toe into the marketplace without having to sign your life away, start to build up the audience and the revenues and everything that you need for a career. There's plenty of room for progression there and no need for any real commitment. So with that out of the way, we're often asked by artists what kind of work is best suited for Sedition. Now this is something I don't often like to answer. It's an incredibly wide range. As you'd expect, the landscape of contemporary art is an incredibly wide range. It's very changing and diverse, and we want to reflect that on what we present on Sedition. That said, we do tend to ask for the artworks on Sedition to be of a very high quality, which usually means a very high resolution. So for still images, we support JPEG and PNG files. One side of that must be at least 3000 pixels. For video works, we support most video formats and most codecs. Our preferred format is MOV or MPEG or MP4 files, and the preferred codec would be H.264. The resolution ought to be at least HD, so you're looking at 1920 x 1080, or preferably higher. To be honest, these days we tend to ask by default for 4K works. Many of the artworks on Sedition get requested for public displays and licensing, and in those cases we almost always work with a 4K file. There's no upper limit on how large the file size can be, so feel free to send us larger ones. In fact, we prefer it that way, it gives us more options. So, ideally, aim for 4K as a minimum. Another question we get quite a lot is, how long or how short should my moving image work be? Well, that's entirely up to you. There's some preference, of course, that we start to see through our audience behavior on the site. Right now, the longest form piece on Sedition is around about an hour. That's fairly unusual because most of the works on Sedition are 5 minutes or under. We find our audience tends to gravitate more towards slightly shorter form pieces than the longer form plays. Although that said, the most significant driver is the quality and content of a given work rather than its duration. If a work's engaging, beautiful, captivating, people will be glued to it, regardless of how long it is. It's as simple as that. There are GIFs on our site that take mere seconds, right the way through to that piece I mentioned that's an hour or more. So there's no real hard and fast answer. A moving image artwork on Sedition tends to be at least 30 seconds or more, and the bulk of them are less than 5 minutes. But if you want to go outside of that range, you're the artist, it's your choice. My only advice really is to make the work that you're most passionate about. If your passion and your heart and soul goes into the work, then generally speaking, the audience will respond to it. Another very important question that artists ask before coming onto Sedition, and this one is fundamental: who owns the copyright of the artwork once it's sold? Now, in the digital age and in the time of NFTs, this is more and more a relevant topic. Sedition aligns with UK law, which now has become global law on this issue. Copyright resides with the artist, always. Always the case until and unless you, the artist, choose to sign away the copyright. We sell the artworks. We sell subscriptions that give access to those artworks, or we sell a public display license to allow them to display that artwork. Copyright stays with you, the artist. It is not sold or transferred along with your work. What this means in practice is that a collector who buys your work can't then monetize it. The only way they can make money out of that work is when they realize a profit or loss on a resale. The collectors can't set up paid exhibitions and ticketed events. They can't print it onto mug and onto t-shirts and different fabrics or whatever else it might be. Ultimately, you're the artist. You keep the rights to your artwork yourself. One thing that is important is it's very, very important for you to clear that you have the rights for your artwork. This may sound counterintuitive. If you've created the work entirely yourself, then of course you have the rights to it. But oftentimes people put together a work that might use someone else's imagery, someone else's music, a little bit of text, something that wasn't created by them. If this is the case, you do need to make sure that you have the rights to use that before you put the work on Sedition. Otherwise you may end up with a legal problem sometime down the line. Last of all, we're sometimes asked about the exclusivity aspect of artworks. Now, at Sedition, we in no way limit the platforms you can present yourself on. And as I said before, we encourage you to be on as many platforms as you like. We'll even help you with this. Your artworks, however, do have to be exclusive. Having the same artwork on potentially different platforms, potentially different prices, potentially different formats, undermines the market and the trust in it. So we only take artworks that are for sale on Sedition and nowhere else. So the same artist on different platforms is a big yes. The same artwork on different platforms is a big no. This is, of course, notwithstanding the possibility of selling Sedition artworks on the secondary market, on other marketplaces like OpenSea, for example. With the advent of NFTs, this will happen more and more often. But this is the same item. You're selling that item on Sedition, or you're taking that same item and selling it on OpenSea. That's the difference. These restrictions mean in no way that you can't display the artwork on your website or your YouTube channel or Vimeo or Instagram or exhibitions you're doing in a museum or gallery. That's not the case. We want you to do that. You should be doing that. Get your name, your work and your profile out there absolutely everywhere. The better for you, the better for us, the more recognition there is. Wonderful. The artwork should not be for sale anywhere else though. It should be available for people to see it and experience it, and ideally we can then channel them back to Sedition where they can buy it. I hope this gives you a good idea of why you should be on Sedition if you're an artist, and hopefully it will answer some of the most common questions you might have about Sedition and working with us. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching. Please do reach out to us if you have any other questions. We're here to help you and we love talking to you. This was Rory, the director of Sedition, the platform that allows you to collect, share, trade, display and enjoy digital art by the world's leading contemporary artists. Stay tuned for Sedition.